All right, hey. All right, so these are the interview questions for achievement number 4. So the first one says if you had two products and had to ask one question of your users to determine which they preferred more, what would you ask? Um, well, I would ask which one of these products would you prefer to use? Um, I think that's a pretty straightforward question. But then I'd also want to dive a little deeper into that with our the users or whoever I'm testing or talking to, and see why. And I think that'd be super helpful. It would give a good insight into why people are using the products they're using. Cool. So yeah, that's the first one. Two, how do you evaluate a design and make a design decision? So I think a lot of, I mean, first and foremost, when you see a design, you have a visceral reaction no matter what. It's like it's like watching a scary movie. Like your visceral reaction gives you a kind of gut feeling and intuition of how you should feel. And so you have, I feel like I have like that visceral intuition to see design. But then further than that, besides just kind of the gut reaction, um, there's different ways to test if a design is well made. So through usability testing, which is what this achievement's all been about, seeing if users can complete tasks, things like that, and then also I think a big thing is user feedback as well. So usually when you create something, people will have opinions and they'll let you know. Um, and so through all of those things, it helps you evaluate designs and helps inform design decisions. Cool. All right, question number 3. What kind of data have you used to validate a design decision? Having gone through this process in achievement number 4, one thing that I used was preference testing. And what was interesting in my preference test is that I put up two screens, and one out of 10 votes, one got 9 and one got 1. So very clearly, the data shows that people's opinions heavily favored one. So um, that definitely kind of validated what I was thinking the onboarding screen should look like next. Other things that you can use is, what feedback did you get on a design? Or what feedback did I get on a design, I guess? So what did people like and what did people not like? So I ran into that a lot during my user interviews. So people would be like, "Oh, I like that icon," and then what people really didn't like was lorem ipsum. They did not like being able to read and understand. So that's a tip that I'll probably keep with me forever. When testing, don't ever use lorem ipsum ever. Yeah. And then other data you can find, there's lots of different ways to get data. You can use special software. You can use like Google Analytics that all help kind of inform and get data and tracking that gives you good ideas of numbers that you can use. Cool. What's your experience with A/B testing, nav testing, impression testing, task flow, or overall usability studies? So I've done a couple of these things. So in my current job, sometimes I have to edit landing pages, and I'll add videos, and that's why there's a green screen behind me to add videos to those landing pages. And so I've had before where I've had to create two different landing pages just to see where people would want to go. So I've done that before. Let's see, impression testing. So the 5 second test. I feel like that's a bit more of a marketing thing. I did a Udemy course that kind of went into that, and that's also kind of that visceral reaction thing to see what someone sees on a website and kind of what's their gut reaction, what they feel like, what they should do, what they like, what they don't like within that first 5 seconds. So that impression, that first 5 second testing is kind of really good for getting that, visceral data from people. Um, this project, achievement number 4, I did a lot of testing. So went through 6 people, then went through preference testing, and then figured out what they said, what they didn't say, and kind of poured over the results to get that study. And then also, we had to look at task flows, and so that's something that's something I did at the beginning of Career Foundry, when we had to go through and create task flows of what we wanted our users to do. So if we want them to complete this task, what screens do they have to go through? What specific steps they want to go through? So those are all some things that I've done and would like to look forward to doing. Anyways, thanks. Bye.